You're watching LMCC, your community TV.
Hi, I'm Chris Vogt, and welcome to Lakeside News Weekly, your guide to news and events going on in the Lake Minnetonka area. On today's show, we'll head to the Excelsior Brewery, where you're invited to have a pint and reflect on Lake Minnetonka's storied past.
Tapping history was started in September of 2013, and we originally hosted it at Jake O'Connor's right down the street, and eventually we just outgrew the space.
So when they approached us and told us that they were hosting these types of events at other locations, we jumped on because we just thought it was a great tie to the community and a way for us to attach ourselves with the local residents and also get brought up to speed on all the great history of Excelsior, because it's a wonderful town.
I have lived many places, but I still consider Excelsior my hometown, even though I only lived here from the age of 10 to 18, and that would be the years 1961 to 68. You know, I moved here when I was 10, and the only thing I could see was that amusement park. It was the middle of the winter, you couldn't get in it, but the promise of it. You mean in the summer, that's right down the block?
There are really three parts to the mission of the Historical Society: to preserve and document the area's history, to promote and make the history of the lake accessible, and to stimulate interest in the history of the lake.
And a few years later, as I moved up through my teenage years, my eyes had moved all the way to the end of the amusement park and across the road to Danceland, sitting over there like this forbidden zone. And eventually I made it inside Danceland. In those days, rock and roll was not really heard ever in bars, or hardly ever, because people over 21 didn't listen to it. It was really a dance hall scene, and a non-alcoholic dance hall scene. And before the rise of the psychedelic era, every city had its own little regional culture, its own little set of bands that mattered a whole lot in that metro area and not anywhere else.
I think it's important that people are able to learn about the history of the town and not have to go read it out of a book, to hear right from the source.
We really want to make history accessible through these events, and we also want to preserve the word of all of our speakers on all these various topics around the lake. And it's really sparked a lot of interest, and we've had a growth in membership, so we're really happy with the event so far.
In those days, the Twin Cities teen life was kind of ruled by gangs. Different gangs ruled different territories. And I'm going to put myself on shaky ground here in case there's a former ex-boy in the house. But the local gang in Excelsior was the ex-boys. And normally you'd think, some little village on the edge of the metro area, how bad can that gang be? The ex-boys were pretty tough. You knew who was in the gang because they all wore matching jackets. The torso was of wool, and then the sleeves were leather. And the key thing was the color combination. The ex-boys' color was bottle green, but it looked essentially like the very same jackets that the toughest gang in Minneapolis wore, the Surprise. One day, the Surprise got the idea that they'd had enough of somebody else wearing their gang colors, and they came out to Excelsior to settle the matter. But the memory I have, there was a riot, there were sirens in the town, the entire police force was called out, and eventually they broke up the fight.
The partnership's been fantastic. It's allowed us to expose our brewery to all sorts of residents that don't typically come out to the brewery, but I think they really appreciate it. Just being a neighbor to the Historical Society and being able to help contribute to their cause and have them keep going on, it's a great feeling for all of us here.
You know, Mr. Jimmy Hutmacher, who we talked about earlier, what happened to him? Why did he have the mental problems that he had? I think he knew he had troubles, but as various people have alluded, he wasn't foolish or dumb or anything like that. He was off kilter. He had that stool at Bacon Drug where he sat every day, and as I said earlier, he greeted everybody. And so over time, you know, you'd walk in there and you'd go, "Hey, somebody knows me. It's Jimmy. Hey, how you doing?" And you would just exchange the time of day with him, but pretty soon you'd notice that every single person that came into Bacon Drug was doing something like that. And you realize that he's kind of knitting us all together.
For the brewery, it brings in a lot of people that might not have come in on a Friday or Saturday and had a pint. And for us, it brings people in that would maybe already come to the brewery, but then they want to learn a little bit more about the history of the area. It's been a fantastic partnership, and we've had more people than we thought would ever be interested, and we're super excited about it.
Here's what's coming up on First Responder TV. We'll meet the new Minnesota State Fire Marshal, Bruce West, and highlight how to prevent and the dangers of carbon monoxide in the home. Jason Moss, the 2014 Mountain Firefighter of the Year, goes above and beyond to serve the community on making a difference. Special deputies are volunteers who perform valuable law enforcement services. Will spotlight these dedicated citizens on Safety Source.
First Responder TV airs daily on LMCC's Channel 12.
Welcome back to Lakeside News. Now it's time to preview some upcoming events going on in our LMCC member cities. Here's the Lakeside Community Calendar.
It's your lucky day on March 14th. Lace up those sneakers, put on your green, and join your family, friends, neighbors, and favorite business owners for the 3rd annual Jake O'Connor's Luck of the Lake 5K Fun Run. This is race number 1 of the 2015 Lake Minnetonka Running Series. The race promptly starts at 9:30 a.m. in downtown Excelsior. Go to the Excelsior Lake Minnetonka Chamber of Commerce website for more information.
Do you know of an upcoming event going on in the lake area? Email us at lmcc@lmcc-tv.org.
I heard about a lot of things my friends were doing online that were really mean or just plain crazy. I never thought I would do anything like that. One day my friend Pat showed me a website he made. He posted a list of girls in our school and had guys we know go on and rate them. Sort of a hot or not kind of website. I thought it was pretty funny, so I rated them too. We had a good laugh and I thought that was the end of it. The next day everyone at school was talking about it. He had sent it out to the whole school to see. I could tell a couple of girls had been crying, and I knew it was because of what the guys had said about them and how they looked. I felt bad, but I didn't really get it until I went home that night. Turns out, the guys had put my little sister on the site too, but hid it from me because they knew I would get upset. She was crying when I got home, and she wouldn't even look at me. I would never have said those things to someone's face. I didn't even mean them. I thought it was just a joke between friends. Now Pat's suspended from school, and they might kick me out too. Once you put something online, you lose control of it. You can never get it back, and people can use it in ways you never even meant. I learned that the hard way. I wish I never saw that stupid site.
So, do you think you have to smoke to get lung cancer? Think again.
Lung cancer is the invisible cancer.
It kills twice as many women as breast cancer.
Lung cancer causes more deaths than most cancers combined.
I never smoked, but I was diagnosed with lung cancer while serving my country in the Persian Gulf.
60% of new cases are people that never smoked or quit decades ago.
More young people are diagnosed with lung cancer each year. It is becoming an epidemic among young women.
I'm 32 and I have lung cancer.
We are not actors. We're real people and we have lung cancer.
We're not invisible anymore.
It doesn't matter why a person has lung cancer. No one deserves cancer. Please get the facts. Go to helplungcancer.com and cancergrace.org to learn the truth about lung cancer.
Well, there you have it. News and events happening around the Lake Minnetonka area. For more information about LMCC or to learn more about our programming, go to our website at www.lmcc-tv.org. Thanks for watching this edition of Lakeside News Weekly.